So life before Jesus, I was born to a mother and father of a teenage mother and father, and they were living out their life, and living out the party life, the world's life. Grew up with a lot of violence, a lot of drugs, alcohol, experienced a lot of physical abuse, emotional abuse throughout my life as a kid from step-parents. Even experienced sexual abuse at a time in life. My dad wasn't really in the picture a lot when I was a kid. Like I said, him and my mom were young, so they were married when I was at a young age, but they divorced at a very young age. It was just a lot of chaos, a lot of turmoil. The enemy had a way of putting it in my mind that it was God's fault that these things had taken place. And I believed it. I bought into the lie, hook, line, and sinker. And for years, I just built this hatred and disdain for the world. It just continued to consume me to the point of I became very violent as a kid. I dealt into drugs, alcohol, and it began to control my life. It literally, sin began to consume and be what I was about. It seems like the enemy has this way of, he gives you these moments when you buy into his way of, you have these moments of happiness, and then he pulls the rug out from underneath of you. And I would experience that time and time again. It seemed like life would be going in the right direction, and then I'm a sophomore in high school, and I end up finding out my girlfriend's pregnant. It's like, boom, pulls the rug out again. It's like, man, you gotta be kidding me. I get older, and again, it happens again, the same situation. Another child with a girlfriend. It happened 3 times without my life. But life would be going well in these moments, and then all of a sudden the rug would just get pulled out. Every time that happened, I blamed God. I blamed him. From my childhood and all the experiences, I believed that I just wasn't one of God's children. Like, some people are born in this world God's children and some aren't. And I just believed, the enemy had me believing that I just wasn't one of the chosen ones. And he used a moment in my life, May 29th, 2012. My dad took his life. That one hurt. That was the worst one. I was left searching, lost. But the good thing is that as I look back now, God was always there, and he had people around me that loved me, that brought me through it. 2 are in my life still today. My wife and daughter are huge in those things and showing me unconditional love and being there no matter what and who I was. Jessie has been there with me since I was 18 years old. She has walked a lot of this life with me, and has been a part of some of the pain that I have put out into the world as a result of blaming God for the things that went wrong. But she loved me the whole time, and she stayed there. My daughter, the same. I've been honest with her about the type of man I've been as a child, the things I've experienced and what's went on, and she's loved me and continues to. So even though all of those things are happening and the enemy pulled the rug out from under me, God put people in my life to show me love. I just didn't see it at the time. December of 2017, I walked through the doors to come to a Christmas Eve service. And when I walked through the doors of this church, I felt a love, like, it's hard to even articulate the love that I felt in this place, not just from the people, but just the environment. I had never felt it in my life, not in a home, not in a school, not even on my football team where I built brothers. It was a comfort, a peace. And I met one of the church members, Cliff Swayze, and offered me to go on a walk, on this discipleship walk thing. Obviously, I have no idea what he's talking about. It's my first time at church. I took the opportunity to shut the world out and let God in. And man, it changed everything. For the first time, the noise was quiet, and God was there, and I was completely surrounded in love, understanding, and acceptance. In that moment, I just knew. I knew then, this is it. Like, I came out of the walk. I wanted to be baptized. I wanted to change the curses of sin in my family from the previous generations. And I was baptized in April of that year. And since that time, life has been amazing And it has been hard. I'm not gonna say everything's been great. There have been hard moments, but it's been amazing in the aspect that I don't feel alone when it's hard. I'm not angry at the world. The world is not the reason why I experienced the things that I did as a kid. Sin was why I experienced the things I did as a kid, whether it be my parents' sins, my grandparents' sins, or my own. Sin is what poisoned my family. But when he saved me, he put it on me as a responsibility to change that in my family. Be the man that you needed as a kid. And I fail at that sometimes today, I know I do. But man, he gives me a power and a knowledge and a courage and a strength that hole that was inside me that got filled with hatred, that was trying to consume the world and the things in the world, trying to fill the hole and the void. God was the only thing that could fill that void. And then that void becomes full and it overflows. And you become a part of things like CSM. You become a part of things like Winter Retreat, being able to serve in ministry, be able to serve on weekends and things like that. And you see that God has blessed you enough to turn you around from the wretched soul that you were at one point and bless other people. That has given me a peace that I know that I would have never found without him. And the abilities he gives me today to do the things that I may be capable of doing, where I am, and the blessings I have in this life, that 10-year-old kid never saw this day. But I think God did, and it was part of his plan and his process.